What up? Welcome to the show. We back on our subject today. Back on the subject. Let me get that window up. Let's drop that beam footage. Get our little background music going. Couple little drums cracking. Let's go ahead and continue on. We're dealing with the fakeness. Oh my God. A pile full of lies. Mixed in with some truth. Blended to the historical record, and now the picture is being painted clearly. It's a play we already seen. We're gonna dig it out. I hope y'all don't get tired of this subject. I'm a bang it from different angles. Let me turn that off. I don't feel like background music. I'm gonna bang this thing from different angles. This is gonna allow me to go right back into the history and pull it right back out. Now, the last video, I did a bunch of talking. I didn't really get to the info. So let me let a little bit of information kick. Make sure I got my mic set right. Yeah, we got the mic set. And we're going to start this off with a little bit of Dane Calloway on the Ridiculous Nigga Show, Lex Vortex. He going to give us some Pan-African nigga shit real quick.
On in today's society, okay, we got a whole bunch of people wrapped up together. You got the Freemasons, the Masonic people, you got the. So I'm not even gonna go down the list because I've been exposing them in every single one of my videos. Okay, and they have the same hue of complexion as us. This is the reason why I don't tie myself with any organization, corporation, institution, business, none of that. And I tell people all the time, if they don't have to believe me, I would love for you to do your own research. Don't believe me, write it down. I'm not here to do 3 jobs. I'm already writing, editing, and producing. I can't do the research for you, but I'm doing the research for you. You just gotta stop thinking, oh, I gotta give you everything all at once when you just go check it for yourself. I've been doing this before Google existed. I'm talking about Napster, LimeWire days. And people not going to remember that. That was before the internet was infiltrated by the federal government. We know who is running Dane. We know who is running Google. The first 100 pages alone in a Google search is automatically generated for you with a hidden propaganda. So when you Google something, you're not going to know the truth just because it's on the first and second page. Just because you're on the internet and it's real easy to get to. In order for you to know the truth, you got to go get and find the truth on your own. Get up. Go to the Library of Congress. Go to the National Archives. Go to these historic places, see, and check for yourself. It's right there. And everybody wants to claim that the African began. They can recall that their grandmothers or grandfathers told them that they got some Indian in them. In their family, right? Now, I don't like to use the term Indian, okay? I don't. But let's be real. Christopher Columbus came to where? South America. Where in South America did he come to? For him to mistake that he saw Indians. Why was it an English immigrant putting inside of a dictionary that he wrote in 1828 the definition of American was of copper-colored people? Now, when we look at these so-called Native Americans, are they copper-colored? Now, I mean, you can pick up a penny and put it on your arm, and you can see that it's copper-colored. Can they do the same? It's not hard. Where are the records of the transatlantic slave trade?
That's what I want to get into.
It doesn't exist. It does not exist.
Are you saying that there are no records of the transatlantic slave trade, brother?
Now, watch him avoid that question.
They are lying, and they know they're lying, and I caught them in their lie.
I'm gonna back it up so you can hear Lex Vortex ask the question.
People. Now, when we look at these so-called Native Americans, are they colored? Now, I mean, you could pick up a penny and put it on your arm, and you can see that you're copper colored. Can they do the same?
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard. Where are the records of the transatlantic slave trade?
That's what I want to get into.
It doesn't exist. It does not exist.
Are you saying that there are no records of the transatlantic slave trade, brother?
They are lying, and they know they're lying, and I caught them in their lie. This is why I'm proving my theory.
Hold up. The question was, Dane Calloway, are you saying that records don't exist? Did he answer that no? Did he answer that yes? Neither. His answer was, they are lying. Well, if they're lying, then that means they must say that it exists. Because you're claiming that if they're saying it exists, that it's a lie. If the answer was no, any records doesn't exist, then once again, you're saying they're lying. This is going to be systematic. We're going to walk it down over a period of time. I ain't got all day to be playing with this shit. And I'm going to read from you some narrative. We're going to go back to 1879 and Booker T. Washington, pre-Tuskegee era, pre-Tuskegee, where Booker T. Washington dealt with Indians shipped in from the West Coast, who was shipped out to the West Coast from the South, from the North. We're going to get into it. But right now, let's get some more narrative.
Then I would call it my theory. I say that everything was told to us, was told to us in reverse. Now, when they said we came from Africa, hold on. I got the records proving that they came from here to Africa. See? I got those records. I have those. The National Archives is unbiased. It's not tied to a FBI. It's not tied to an IMF. None of that. That is an unbiased institution.
Mm-hmm.
That is independent. When I request this information, I put in a Freedom of Information request. Sometimes I gotta come out of pocket to pay for this information. Yeah? When I put that stuff out in documentary format, that's not to make money. That's to educate the people of what they will never be told. Not only our generation or our past generations, but I'm talking about the future generations, our children, our children's children. When is the revolution going to start if it's not going to be televised?
Right.
When is it going to start? It's going to start now. It's going to start now. Now, we can debate with these Pan-African people all day long. We can. But when is the end result to a debate? When there's nothing to debate, there's a difference between fact and truth now.
It certainly is a difference between fact and truth. And here's the fact. Dane Calloway, you ain't got a legacy. You're in the midst of creating your legacy. You're in the midst of just becoming a fraud. All of these so-called conscious dudes, start off with the hype mobile around them. And then as you start to travel around the YouTube network, dropping off this ridiculousness, then your shit slowly gets destroyed. Same way for Umar, same way for Polite, and now you the latest. So that's enough little bit for now. Let's get into some 1879 pre-Tuskegee Booker T. Washington history in dealing with the Indian. Now, let me share my screen a little bit for you. Sometimes y'all be needing the screen. I'm on a page called Wiki Sources. And this is an excerpt called A Boy's Life of Booker T. Washington. And we're going to begin in chapter 5. All y'all can Google this if you want to get it. Now, let me increase the size. I'm not going to read it. I just want to bring into this date real quick. I want you to understand that this is how I get the date from this particular excerpt. And I'm starting here just to lay down the time frame. So we're in 1879. And General Armstrong invited Booker T. Washington to deliver a postgraduate address at Hampton at the commencement in 1879. Now I'm gonna bring this down so I can read the fullness of the page. Now watch how this works. I continue right after where it says 1879, and I begin reading. This honor brought Washington great joy. He accepted the invitation and chose as his subject the force that wins. He worked hard for 3 months on his speech. It made a great impression on all who heard it, and he was acclaimed one of the real orators of his race. This is chapter 6. It says, there's an old saying that opportunity knocks but once upon our door. This is not true. Opportunities will certainly continue to come to us. The important thing is to be ready for them when they come. We never know what incident may turn out to be our greatest opportunity. If we will do our best to meet every situation that confronts us, we may be sure that there will be plenty of opportunity for us. It is the boy that does not do his best on all occasions that loses out. So Washington, when invited to speak at the Hampton commencement, worked hard for 3 months preparing that speech. When that time came, he did his very best. Then he forgot the matter and went home. Then he forgot the matter and went home. Just a few days after he got home, he had a great surprise. There came a letter to him from General Armstrong. It said, "We need you here at Hampton. We want you to come to our help and help us run the school." That was a very moment in the life of, a very happy moment in the life of Washington. He thought more of General Armstrong than any other man in the world. To be asked by this man to come and work for him made Washington exceedingly happy man. He immediately wrote that he would accept the position. Some weeks later, he reached Hampton, ready to enter upon his new duties. His job was rather a peculiar one. The Indians in the United States, who had been put upon certain territories out west, after being taken from their land in the South and the Southwest, had no system of education and were entirely without schools of any kind. Now, let's stop and recap that. So here we are in 1879. Booker T. Washington just gave a postgraduate commencement speech. He's been called to come back because they have some Indians who were taken from the South, their homelands, and moved out west. Now, at this time, the West was still wild. It was being tamed, but not fully tamed yet. These particular Indians, you could say they were copper colored. You could say they looked black. You can say all types of things. But there was certainly a difference in who they were. Now, we're going to continue here. General Armstrong wanted to help them. He said he believed that they could be educated, and he wanted to try it. The government of the United States gave its consent and agreed to cooperate with him. They brought from the West to Hampton about 100 Indian boys to be educated. These boys were very ignorant. Booker T. Washington says that they were almost wild. Washington's task was to live in the same building with these Indian boys and look after them, to be sort of a house father to them. He had a hard job. The Indians were very proud people. They felt themselves superior to the white race as well as to the black race. Now, this is 1879. This is a real life interaction with an educated man, Booker T, and the wild Indian boys. And to Booker T, he noticed something about these people. One, that they seemed to be very proud. Two, they weren't educated much. And three, they certainly seen a difference in them than in the black race or the freed slave race. Now, we can get into the history of this slavery with the Indians in the backs. There are books written about those things. I have a few. Let's see. I have this one. Here's a book. It's by Barbara Kirkhammer. It's called Black Slaves and Indian Masters: Slavery, Emancipation, and Citizenship in Native American South. And it goes into all kinds of information. Later on, somewhere down the road, we're going to deal with this book. You can go buy this book if you want to get ahead of me. Nevertheless, we also have pages from the Law Library of Congress, the exact spot where this Dane Calloway said, look, we're going to deal with that. But for now, we're going to deal with a real life experience by an African American who would go on to father in the Pan-African context, in specific for those from the Atlantic slave trade, to which Dane Calloway said did not exist. Now ask yourself, is there some information Dane got now that they didn't have then? About a time before then? Is it really? Is he certainly going to come about and create a narrative, a new narrative? Does he really think he's going to change the direction? What educational system did the Indians, Aboriginals, offer us? Are we mixed with the Indians? Of course. Are we mixed with the white people? Of course. Are we treated like the Indians? No. Are we treated like the white folks? No. Regardless of your mixture, you're treated certainly like an African American, a descendant of the slaves. There's reasons why they have books, Black Slaves, Indian Masters. There's all kinds of in particulars that are going on. There are Black slaves running away from white plantations, being accepted by certain groups of Indians. There are other Indians capturing the Black slaves and returning them back to the white folks. There are Indians and capturing the Black slaves and enslaving them. There's all types of different situations going on in the history. You can't just focus on one particular. You got to understand the context of it all. But in this instance, it is certain that these 100 wild Indian boys are certainly different than the Black American slave, freed slave at this point. So I'm going to begin again. It says, Washington's task was to live in the same building with these Indian boys and look after them, to be sort of a house father to them. He had a hard job. The Indians were very proud people. They felt themselves superior to the white race, as well as to the Black race. They had a special dislike for the Negro because he had been a slave. The Indians would not be slaves. They preferred death to slavery. These boys were not only very ignorant, but it was very hard to make them understand, as they did not know the English language well. Furthermore, everybody expected them to fail. We usually do just about what people expect of us. If they think they are going to succeed, it helps us to succeed. If they think they are going to fail, it makes attainment of success harder for us. Booker T. Washington said, I will succeed. I will show these people that these Indians can be educated. So for an entire year, he worked with them. He soon won their confidence and respect. That they all liked him was evident, for they did everything they could to satisfy him and please him. He found them ready to work hard and diligent and intelligent enough to be taught. They learned the different kinds of trades just about as well as the Negro did. At the end of the year, everybody was willing to admit that Washington had made a success of teaching the Indians. Ever since the Indians have been going to Hampton, and many of them are students there today. Washington says his hardest task was to get them to give up some of their old habits and customs. They did not want to part with their long hair. Now, let's go on a little further. They did not want to quit wearing blankets or quit smoking. However, since these customs were not customs at Hampton, they all agreed to do this as the others did there. Now came another very important work for Washington after he had worked with the Indians for a year. General Armstrong said, I have another hard job for you. Show it to me, Washington said. A great many people who did not have any money were trying to enter Hampton. They were as poor as Washington was when he entered. General Armstrong did not want to turn them away. He finally determined that he would arrange it so that these people could work all day at some trade or other line of work and thus pay for their living expenses and have something left over to go into the treasure office to their accounts. We'll stop right there since it's getting into another aspect. And just understand, we have one identifying marker that these particular Indian boys had long hair in 1879 this 100 men from out west, dragged from the south. Now we know that black, copper, red tone, or pale white Indian, they all got that long hair. Some of them a little kinky, some of them a little wavy. We also know that the integration of slaves since 1616. We also know that Indians enslaved Indians prior to the white man coming. They already had an adoption for how they operate among themselves when they captured other Indians in war. So the adoption of African slaves into their societies. Some resisted, some accepted, but eventually slavery was integrated with the Indian. So although Dane and Calloway can sit here and continue to make a case that you couldn't possibly be those African American. I mean, you couldn't possibly be those Africans that was being enslaved by natives and white men. You couldn't possibly be them. You couldn't possibly be connected to Harriet Tubman. It couldn't be you that she was saving. Although it is fair to say that there's a deep history about the migration of Indians to the West, as is briefly mentioned here. We're going to get deeper into the migration of the Indians out West. Obviously, I'm in Atlanta, Creek Nation. I got a river run through here called the Chattahoochee, Indian words. We know they lived here. And we definitely know slavery came here. It can't be denied that people were not enslaved here. Danny Calloway wants you to believe that the white man came over here on a ship, jumped out, and just started enslaving Indians. And never brought any slaves with him. Now, I admit the white folks did some dirt, and they certainly enslaved Indians. But all the way in 1879, Booker T. Washington is aware that these people refused to be slaves. This is at the end of, I mean, goddamn, slavery had already been emancipated. Booker T was a free man. And based on law, all the blacks were free. And still these Indians couldn't speak English. And still they were people of the wild, natural living. Not accustomed to a life of or a history of slavery among them. They were still wild. An indication that there was a group that Dana gonna have to explain that was unadulterated by slavery. I know this is going to get deep, too fast, too quick. I see we got Lex. Boy, you want to come on the show, Lex? Is that what you want to do? You done ran off with that girl's gold chain and that blow-up doll, and you back? I'll let you on the show. I ain't never really tripped off you anyway. You ain't never been riding on the side of righteousness. You stayed on the wrong side your whole time. And you can guarantee, Lex, I'm just getting started. I'm watching a few videos, and I'm just going to drop some small inserts. But you know how we do it. We start off slow, and then we turn up. You're going to watch these numbers grow, because I got a whole lot of shit to cover with this dude. It's a whole lot of dumb shit. This nigga said you can't be a Pan-African Christian. Is you gonna be that stupid? You ain't gonna be that stupid. Somebody told me you was running around in the van. What's going on, Lex? Is that the way that Indians live? Is you on the Aboriginal lifestyle? What the fuck do you got going on? For real, homie, because I'm over here on some baller shit off the stem. Literally. On some baller shit off the stem. And the last I heard, you was headed down the street in a Scooby van with a blow-up doll and a gold chain, and you just wrecked a ugly-ass gorilla-looking chick. You know, worked her over. I feel you, though. You had to get it because that goddamn 5,000 elite shit was false. The rap game was false. Your cement brick palace fell apart. And here you are, back. You think I'm talking some other stuff because I just got to cover who this is pushing the bullshit. Like, you have to be responsible for your thousands of mistakes you done previously made before you think I'm going to believe you now. Then you make this ridiculous ass. So what you saying? That the Pan-African Conference wasn't filled with Christians? Sylvester Williams wasn't Christian? Booker T wasn't Christian? Garvey wasn't Christian? Do I got to go all the way down the list? Oh man, you can dip. You ain't got no bread that I need to worry about if you hanging around, bro. If you think that this is going to change your situation. See, I really want to talk to you just on some straight up, but you so fucking conscious community dumb nigga shit that you got to continue to perpetuate a paradigm and you forgot to get your motherfucking money. It's a different time. We not 4 years ago. This not 3 years ago. Your ass was supposed to elevate. Where in the fuck did you elevate? Now I see your partner, Dane Calloway, he got his little t-shirt website cracking. He got his Patreon cracking. He damn sure taking donations on PayPal cracking. But he gonna end up like you. After the narrative run dead. After nobody really buying it no more. After pit boss throw up 300 videos on this shit. And you can guarantee them coming. You already know how I do. I just never really took time to listen to you niggas because your shit was fucking ignorant. And all I'm seeing is broke ass niggas riding the dick of Sarnetta. But then come along this Dane Calloway. He was able to blow up without a Sarnetta. But why he fucking with you? I mean, what did you offer him that he fucked with you? I mean, what did he see in Alex Vortex that made him say, I'm not going to fuck with Sarnetta, but I'm going to go over here and fuck with Lex? And what the fuck do you Aboriginal niggas do when it comes to real shit other than post goddamn videos? Because even the fake Pan-Africanist is out on the block putting in the work. Even the fake ass Sarah Suit Seti call himself putting it to work. Now I'm assuming you're gonna tell me that Garvey was fucking Indian, right? I'm assuming you're gonna tell me that Booker T was a fucking Indian, an Aboriginal, right? And although he wrote about it and definitely identified himself differently in 1879 than the Indians of that day, he definitely didn't see himself as one of them. But you're going to go away peaceful because you already know. I got so much shit loaded up for this subject. I ain't doing no other subject for a minute, at least a month, till I get tired of this shit, till this shit whack. And I'm gonna show you the motherfucking money. I'm gonna show you how this shit ain't no money. This is just another nigga hustle on YouTube with a fucking nigga caravan of YouTube channels that love to get this nigga on so they can blow their shit up. This ain't no new shit, Lex. We've been doing this shit. You already know that. And I'm just gonna slowly pick it apart. These shows ain't even gonna be long. It's just gonna be a multitude of them. In the midst of me getting to this motherfucking money, I'm gonna even see if I can spawn a fucking promotional crew that'll come over here and pay for the fucking shit. As you know, when they start donating, my whole energy level just turn up on a whole nother notch. Right now, I'm just simply going off my own energy to want to talk about some shit. But as soon as the goddamn gravity start moving against your motherfucking ass, it's on. I first got to go listen to about at least 20-something hours of some dumbass Aboriginal shit. I got to go find this nigga on everybody's channel, get a full understanding of what this nigga talking about. Because just off the show, I remember when he came on your show, I didn't even want to address it. I was like, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to deal with some more niggas talking about some dumb shit, running around some broke ass niggas that wish they could get their shit popping on YouTube. It was getting tired. I was like, I don't even want to do it. But now I do. All of a motherfucking sudden, I got the fucking energy to smash in on this shit. Only because it allows me to go back and regurgitate all the shit I've already said. And I already know when I listen to Dane Calloway talking to you, you don't know what the fuck you talking about, and he don't know what the fuck he talking about when it comes to some Pan-African shit. He don't know the fuck. And you ain't gonna go drag his motherfucking ass over here. I'm not Sanetic. I don't give a fuck if we do a private show. I don't give a fuck if we just get on a fucking three-way while I question this nigga. Let's find out what the fuck kind of Pan-African perspective this nigga really got. Because the shit he said, let's go back and play this bullshit. Let's play some more of this bullshit.
Fact is debatable because a fact is based off someone else's opinion. When in turn, truth is non-debatable because it makes logical sense. You cannot take 12.5 million enslaved so-called Africans from anywhere in Africa and bring them here to America without telling me how many whites it took to do that.
You see this stupid fucking logic, Lex? Because he haven't got documentation of how many white folks brought these niggas over here. These niggas didn't come over here. You didn't give me the record of the white. Do you see this fucking stupid ass logic? Now, do you want me to go back and get the motherfucking video when I came on your whack ass show? How your bitch ass was playing CIA with me? Every 10 words your bitch ass was cutting in. Hey, but wait, but that, yeah, wait, oh, hold up, hit that. Then your bitch ass ran over here and tried to double cross me with Black Becky. Do you know what kind of bitch nigga shit you is? Do you know what kind of hoe cake nigga you turned out to be in this conscious community? Do you know you had to dip and hide because you knew the demons was coming? You shouldn't even show your fucking face up no more. You gonna fuck it up for the Aboriginal movement. If them niggas don't disband you, Lex, if they don't get your motherfucking ass out they shit, they're gonna have to pay that fucking credit card back. And I don't know what the fuck you was blind blow dogs for. Blow up dolls. What the fuck was you thinking? It's really that bad? Don't come in this motherfucker talking about, oh, no, you on some other shit. No, nigga, I'm on your motherfucking ass and your motherfucking rep. Uncredible. That's why I want to know why in the fuck Dane Calloway running around with a nigga with a blow-up doll. What the fuck is that about? What kind of nigga Aboriginal shit is that? Where they do that at? You disgraced yourself, my nigga. You already did a gang of bitch shit before that. You remember when you tried to smash on Hashim and Zinga? Because he out here, nigga, fighting the white man in the new Black Panther Party. But then you come suck this nigga's dick. Huh? Kind of weird nigga shit y'all niggas on. Y'all need to stay on it. Rizzy B. Hart, you might get 8 shows in a day if I could do it. Every little moment I got, see, it's kind of complicated. I'm doing all kind of shit, multitasking. And in the midst of it, I try to catch a video or two, and then I gotta go pull up shit. These little pages and read through shit and find certain excerpts. I'm looking, shit take time. But I'm on the fucking job. If y'all don't hear from me for days, in them days, I didn't listen to some shit. And then I went and found some shit. It's a simple pattern. It's a very simple pattern that these dudes do. It's really all about the sale. It ain't about the content. It ain't a mission to proving that we're the Indians. It's not a fucking mission to that. There's no accomplishment if you get anywhere to claiming that that shit true you talking about. It ain't gonna change the circumstance. What you not gonna do, Dane, now I'm gonna switch back over to Dane Calloway. What you're not gonna do, Dane Calloway, what you're not gonna do is get up in any kind of court with your documentation from the Library of Congress and say, see, on this document I got from the government, I'm an Indian. They're gonna lock your black ass up. Neither will you attract those Indian tribes that you say are not the Indians. Now I'll agree. It's something funny about them Indians out there, West Coast. They look like Mexicans. They got a little Indian look to them, though. They ain't just all the way not related. All shit, Lex. I'm getting report cards on your punk ass in real time. I heard your disrespectful ass then disrespected somebody and already got your bitch ass booted out. Well, guess what, Lex? I'm gonna put your Aboriginal ass back in that motherfucker. Fuck them Aboriginal niggas for kicking your bitch ass out. They bitch niggas, you bitch nigga, y'all bitch niggas need to be together. I'm gonna put your bitch ass back in there. You're an Aboriginal motherfucker. According to Pit Boss, you damn sure ain't a fucking Pan-African, an African, nowhere from the continent. We ain't got no bitch niggas that act like you from Africa, nigga, or in the slave trade. No bitch niggas that look or act like you. Your ass Aboriginal, nigga. So we didn't prove that there is at least one Aboriginal motherfucker walking around here and his motherfucking name is Lex Vortex. A fucking Aboriginal asshole moving around in a Scooby-Doo truck with a blow-up doll and a big gold chain. That's your ass. Now, let's go back to the nigga shit. Mind you, let me recall this Aboriginal man cave of homosexual niggas or something. This is why you know Dane Calloway is falsified. Because he joined forces with these bitch ass niggas. This was not long ago. This was, well, I can't use the date because it was reposted. For viewership. But your bitch ass is part of this Aboriginal nigga movement of lower class YouTube niggas. And what you really doing is trying to sell Aboriginal shirts. That's all you're doing. You're trying to take a popular concept and sell a t-shirt. The same way Sinetta bootlegged the Kemetic movement to stardom and fame and fortune. Bootlegged his motherfucking way to have big debates, huge YouTube channel, snakeskin shoes, mink hats, off the Kemetic back of dumb nigga shit. And now we got the second wave of some more nigga shit. This is dumb shit for the dumb niggas on YouTube who just gotta belong to anything but the truth. And Dane Calloway is now their new motherfucking spokesmodel for this shit. Let's finish listening to some of this dumb shit.
Mm-hmm. See? The U.S. Census started in the 1790s. Then is when they told you that it was millions of whites here. Prior to that, oh, is no record? Wait a minute. Where did the whites come from? Before it was colonized and named Europe, what was it called? See, that's a real good question. Because then when you find out and research what Europe is, then you're going to notice that Europe was a part of Africa and still is. Look at those albinos, though. Some of them went to Brazil. But wait a minute, so think about it. If Christopher Columbus went to the Atlantic to get to Africa from Europe, how come it was so easy for him to go to South America and South America as at the bottom? They're talking about winters, summers. They didn't. He went 4 voyages, lost one or two ships. But you mean to tell me that he went across the Atlantic with no problem? You're alive. This is the reason why I said it was in reverse. That map is flipped upside down because he didn't take the Atlantic. He took the Nile. And they want you to think that the Nile is in Africa. The Nile is the Mississippi River. The Nile is the Mississippi River, and they make.
Oh, see what I'm saying? Now, what you talking about? With your dumb ass Lex. You's a dumb nigga. Now, if I'd have said that shit. Now, if I'd have told. If I would have came on Lex Vortex fucking show talking about the Mississippi River is the Nile. Oh my God. The level of nigga shit you would have pulled. The temperature in the motherfucking room would have been 900. You would have went in on my motherfucking ass 1,000 ways. But when you decide to wrap your lips around some nigga dick, the only thing come out your mouth is like on that dumb nigga shit. Gosh. Now we gotta go find some of this When the Rocks Cry Out. I mean, it's fucking retarded. It's retarded. Can't y'all just regurgitate this shit? This is no new shit. This is ridiculous. But I'm going to get into it any goddamn way.
Yeah, you can go Amazon. You can go Barnes & Noble. Anybody sitting online has this book. So you can get it from there. I don't send it individually. I didn't want to do that anymore. I want it to be widely available.
We have 10 minutes remaining. I want to open up 2 lines for, we have 2 callers. I want, each caller to present their question or comment and then allow the other caller to comment as well. We have 10 minutes left of the live feed. We will continue on the after the 11 o'clock hour in time with Mr. Butler. So let me open up 404-438. It's a 1-2-8.
Khonsu, he is your ancient Heracles. He is the ancient Khan of the Egyptians, who was the one that ancient Egypt.
Now, who you listening to is a man named Horace Butler, and he wrote a book called When the Rocks Cry Out. This is Dane Calloway's whole spiel. When you start claiming that the Mississippi River is the Nile River, you are now stating that all history referring to the Nile River is talking about America. Oh my God, some nigga shit. Some nigga shit, boy.
When you look at those ancient African records, it says he lived at Memphis. It was the abode of Shu, is what they call that area in Mexico, the abode of Shu, where Shu lives. Shu, of course, is Khonshu or Khonsu. That's him. So that's why his presence is so major in Mexico there. Now, Horace has another name. His mother has another name. They have the same people. They have different names for them.
Yes, indeed.
That's
come across that information.
C-A-L, I believe, Consul.
Yeah, I looked it up. I've seen a lot of information on everything that was in the East, the primal deities being worshipped, and evidence of them in the Americas, as far as the United States, Buddha, Isis, Osiris, the worship of all of those great deities here also. Do you have any information pertaining to the Mound Builders civilization?
No, that's what the brother was asking me before the show. He emailed that to me and asked me if I had additional information about the Mound Builders. And what I was doing was trying to do what the Black scholars had not done. I wanted to follow the narrative. I didn't want to do assumptions and guesswork. I wanted to find what the ancient narrative said. So they came up into Mexico, and what I saw those ancient Africans write was that when they came up further into North America, that the cavalry, the bow and arrow cavalry in this land was so strong that they couldn't hold on to different places that they would settle. And so they kind of cut it off at Mexico. They did have cities here, kind of sparsely and set around, but those bow and arrow cavalries were strong. And they tried to say the horse came to Spain, but of course that's a lie. So, what they faced put a stop to a lot of things. I followed the ancient narratives. I did not see much going into North America. I did see one account that they had reached the Washington, D.C. area, and they talked about the Potomac and the Chesapeake and that area and the city that was there. They talked about the island that we now call that New Orleans area. We don't know that's a large island. They call it Pantalina, but it's an island where the Mississippi River splits and goes down to the Gulf. Those two branches surround the land on that side. Then it goes up to where that river splits, so it's running on that side. And on the south side, there's the Gulf. That land is an island. It's completely surrounded by water. And they wrote about this large island. Yeah, they wrote about it. And they wrote about what was going on there. We just have to see those ancient writings and know what we're talking about. You have to open our eyes and then perceive what they are.
Thank you. Thank you for your work You are definitely loved for it. It's needed. Now is the time. And you have my support.
Is in the DAR, that's the Daughters of the American Revolution, which is matriarchy, which is actually a patriarchal organization, and that organization produces the manuals for citizenship that's used to measure anybody that come in the Western Hemisphere. And of course, they got Valley Madison's clothes in one of the rooms there, and she, all of her clothes, and every time she dressed, she would wear a Moorish turban. Right there in Washington, D.C.
Dude.
To me by myself.
Dude, no,
hold on, I'm gonna back it up.
They knew it. Their own traditions had told of it. They were the people who had come over and populated Memphis, West Africa. Not East Africa, West Africa. But then East Africa would come later, and South Africa and everywhere else was coming in. But they found the ruins on this island. Man-made island, one of the wonders of the ancient world that they say cannot be found now. The lake that was called Tashi in some literature and by other names. Nearby, the other ancient wonder of the world, Heliopolis, still stands, showing its pyramids and the famed labyrinth sitting right there. The place named for ancient Egypt's Tehuti is now called Tehuti-Wakan, still carrying that ancient African name with the pyramids there and there. The labyrinth, the famed labyrinth, still there, found by archaeologists. And they eventually said this city was one of the largest cities. No, they said it was the largest city on the planet up until the 8th century AD. Largest city on the planet at 7 square miles. But they're not there. They're near. They're in Mexico, where Mexico City is now, built on top of those ancient African ruins. And now they found the ruins of ancient Memphis and rebuilt their city there, calling it after the old biblical name of Enoch. They pronounce it Tenochtitlan, but it's spelled T-E-N-O-C-H, Enoch, to Enoch, Titlan. So they own this old African city that dates the genesis of the biblical, the African writings that we call biblical writings. And they're in this city that was Enoch's city and was also Memphis. And they built their city there. And that becomes the capital city that we start hearing is the Aztec capital city. You know, these Africans here. So when Spain comes in, they know exactly where they're going. They know what the history of this is. Their church has those books. They have the writing. You have to understand that once you understand that when the Africans had come into the Americas and built their cities that became known as ancient Egypt, then you're not going to only find Memphis, you're going to find that other capital city called this city.
Now, slowly Dana has to, or Dane, I don't know how you say his name. Dane, I'm going to call him Dane. He slowly has to metamorphose into this Horace Butler concept as he begins to narrate that the Mississippi River is the Nile. See, Horace Butler already, he done damn near sat his ass down at this point. We don't hear much from him. But he spent some years trying to prove that Mexico was ancient Egypt and Memphis is located in South America and all types of crazy shit. And he had a goddamn following. It don't matter what type of nigga shit come before niggas. It's enough niggas that they gonna follow it to the death of them till they ass just run out of gas, and we tired of listening to that shit. Now we go back to Dana and listen to how he slowly metamorphosing. It won't be long before he fuck up somewhere. I haven't listened to all his audio, and I catch his ass talking about some Horace Butler and the rocks cry out.
parts of that river, different places. That Mississippi River could take you anywhere. And listen to this, in the southeastern side of the North America lands. Still to this very day, they are lying.
Hold on, say that again.
That's why them Pan-Africans can't.
Say that again.
That's why they can't handle me.
The Mississippi River can take you anywhere.
If you can, when you flip that Nile over, okay, I'm talking about flip the map, flip it upside down. That means that, yeah, Christopher Columbus could get to South America quicker. Why would he go from Africa, excuse me, from Europe, pick one, from Europe to South America and skip north? There's only one way for him to do that, is if it's closer. Of course he had help. He had Iberians with him. They want to call them the Moors, the navigators, the anchors.
Now, this, see, Lex, and I know your bitch ass still listening. This is that super duper nigga shit. This is where logic just, nigga, loses. Y'all, just, if you study weather patterns, hurricanes and tornadoes, various types of weather patterns, especially hurricanes, they formulate on the west coast of Africa, and they follow the current right on into the Caribbeans, right smashing on into Florida, right on over into the Gulf, right on over into Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. And we got hurricanes coming this year. A couple of them. And they're going to smash. Then the weather moves up the East Coast, start causing all kinds of floods all the way through DC, all the way up into New York. Then the water gets cold. Hurricanes need warm water. But the currents up north are cold. Those currents move back out, going towards the European islands and the tip top of West Africa. And then they come right back down the West African coast. And you have a circulating power clockwise. This is why the boats travel this same current. Nowadays, we got different kinds of ships. Battleships that can handle it. Submarines that can go underneath. We do all type of shit. But this is why Dane and Calloway came over there to you, Lex, because you was a fraud and he knew he could start off on these fraud channels and spit this lying fire. It get worse.
Yes, because they're all Africans. All of them. Of course they had help to navigate these waters. They've never been on this side before. That's why they called it New World. But wait a minute. Why did they call it the New World? Why did they call the New World the Third World? There's a reason why. Where's the second? Where is the second? They don't want to tell you what South America is. South America is 100 times bigger than Europe alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's a reason why they're hiding what South America really is. When they really do the research, and I'm going to drop this bomb right now. I was going to come up with a documentary with it. I'm probably still going to release it. South America is Atlantis. It ain't gone. It's right there. Combine Atlantis and South America, and you got double the size of Africa. Not only that, you're going to notice that it's not separated. Accretion means that water rises. That means that land didn't disappear. That land is up under water.
Right.
We are still connected. They were lying all the way up, brother. I don't know how long I've been talking.
It don't matter, brother. Go in.
Look.
Let me.
I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying my hardest to tell my people, to tell our people the truth. Not no fact, not no my own opinion. I'm trying to tell them the truth. Melville wrote that story single-handedly. And W.E.B. Du Bois was right up under his ass. W.E.B. Du Bois went to Harvard. Frank Boaz taught him that. Frank Du Bois also taught Melville. Taught these Jews here. All of that information did not exist prior to that. All of these anthropologists of the 19th century is to blame. We could trickle that all the way down to Charles Darwin. Okay? We could go to Francis Galton when you finish. It's a long line of mental rehabilitation dealing with our people. In order to connect the dots, you gotta trace them. Find out some sources here. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, because if we live, it got to be some people listening. And it better be some researchers.
Yeah,
hurry up.
We got damn near 100 people listening.
Off the internet.
Hey, Dane.
And listen, they taking that stuff off the internet. I done lost 7 of my videos on YouTube, yeah. Lost them. They gone. I'm not doing this for nothing else but my people. I'm sorry for yelling. I know y'all done heard a different side of me.
Okay. He said he's doing it for his people, right? This is what he's doing it for. Hold on, be strong. When it's on, it's on. This is what he's doing it for.
Yeah.
Let me show you something.
I'm gonna give it like 5 minutes for it to build up some more, and then we'll keep going.
Let's see.
Hold
on.
So hear me.
Hold on, because I'm skipping now. I'm skipping around. I gotta go pull up some shit. It's getting ugly out here.
Log on to patreon.com/Dane Calloway or paypal.me/Dane Calloway to support me, my channel, and my content. Merchandise is now available at I'mJustHereToMakeYouThink.com.
I'mJustHereToMakeYouThink.com. Now, I don't have a problem with him promoting it and collecting money and buying. I don't have a problem. I just don't want you to think that he's here to drop some real information. Here's what these people do. If they find a concept that bite, they go in full force. They're going to quickly assimilate themselves, construct some capitalist means, and then start talking about the capitalists while they become capitalists. I'm slowly getting that you're a socialist that loves to do capitalist ideas. So you want to attack Pan-African history because it's built on capitalism in the industrial age that the entire world was going into, except for them third world countries, except for those colonialized in Africa. And if it wasn't for Booker T. Washington, we wouldn't have never seen the industrial age the way we did. We wouldn't have been a part of it. We'd have been singing and dancing and hoopla around with all them lame niggas over there at Sonetta Studios. So while they want you to believe that they here to teach you, that's not how it works. You got to first find a narrative that a group of idiots will believe. Push it as hard as you can. Don't go against the narrative, and then put your goddamn t-shirt out. Hurry up with the PayPal and the Patreon account. And while you're hot, get the knot. Because when you drop, you're long forgot. No more money coming in the spot. Dane Calloway is going to bomb out in no time. I mean, he got his little spice on. Sonetta had that same type of rhythm. He was blowing through the guys. Umar had that same rhythm. Polite was getting busy. But when you start attaching yourselves to a goddamn Lex Vortex and a goddamn Chief Holiday and some dumbass niggas, it ain't long. You're gonna burn out. This is why he's stepping the way he's stepping. He's making sure, okay, let me not go over here to Sonetta. He toast. Go over here to this channel and, you know, let these dumb niggas interview me, because they gonna make me look good, because they just want views. I know y'all be like, Pitboss always drilling again. He don't roll with nothing. I roll with the truth. There's a lot of shit I don't talk about that's going on. Some shit is so ridiculous. Yeah, dark skin, you a little late. It's damn near the end of the show. You down with the Aboriginals, dark skin? You down with the Aboriginal movement? Some of them is dark skin. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to wrap today up. I'm going to come back at it again. I don't know when. Matter of fact, I'll give you a time. I'm going to be free in the morning. It's going to be 8 o'clock in the morning. She says she don't know. Good. Do not try to go figure out what that shit is. Stick to the script. Stick to your script. Keep doing what you're doing. Avoid these idiots. Don't get caught up. Don't line yourself up with no more of the nigga shit. Stick in your lane. You don't need to be wrapped up in these things. I know you don't know me connected to this conscious community, but Pet Boston lit fires around here so long, and they know I'm coming. They know I'm coming. I don't know how many I can put up in a month. I might burn out. I get a little support. I'm not about to do no fancy videos and all that shit. I ain't got time to be doing that. I can do it. I got the skill to do it, but I'm not. I got all the video editors and all that shit, but I ain't about to take no time. I'm just dropping. So let's leave on this note that Dane Calloway is just a reincarnation of the doctrine of Horace Butler, When the Rocks Cried Out. Google Horace Butler, When the Rocks Cry Out. Go check out some videos and ask yourself, is this what Dame doing? This same shit? And this is all you got. The nigga shit. Well, I'm the digital pit boss. This has been the show, and I'm out.